Well, hello and welcome. It's very windy. I've got a very slow internet connection, so who knows? Let's go. Or while I'm waiting for somebody to arrive, I shall carry on sewing up. Oh, hello, Mr. Funfair. Yes, you're first. Yeah. I was just going to carry on sewing my sleeve in my cardigan. Yes, you have been missed. You have been missed. People have said, where were you? So, yeah. It's a bit windy here at the moment. Hey, Chrissy. And my internet is slow, so if I disappear, you'll know where I've gone, yeah. I'm busy sewing in a sleeve. You keep falling asleep. I cannot sleep. I am having terrible trouble. Insomnia, whatever you want to call it. And if I do eventually fall asleep, and then I'm staying in bed until lunchtime, which is just all wrong. My body clock is just completely up the wall. Good evening, Connie. Good evening, Sandra. Good evening, Chrissy. Good evening, Carol. Yeah? You wonder what I'm doing? I'm sewing a sleeve in. Yes. The weather's very windy here today. I haven't been out as usual. But, oh, hi, Linda. Say hello to Linda, everybody. She's a new subscriber. Hi, Joanna. Yeah. Yeah, so if I'm a bit tired today, that's why. I just have not been sleeping well at all. I don't know what it is. My bed's nice and comfy. My room's nice and warm, but I cannot get to sleep. Yeah. I'm tossing and turning. I've tried reading. I've tried everything. I haven't tried listening to music because sadly I haven't found me cassettes or I haven't found my cassette player yet. I think it's going to be another month before anything happens, yeah. Maybe it is. Maybe we're can't say the word, subconsciously worrying about things. I don't know. I'm just sort of wait. As you can see, we had another leak. Still not mended. It's worse than usual. Plumber's coming. So it's a good job, really. I hadn't done in here, isn't it? Because it would have ruined my decor. So now everything's sort of like geared for the end of March. I mean, we ordered everything when we arrived. We ordered the workmen and that when we arrived. But it's just the COVID situation and workmen, being busy. Yeah. I suppose they wouldn't be good workmen, would they, if they had vacancies? Yeah. Well, we may not have Miguel tonight. I don't know, because anybody who's in Texas, if you know, they're having power outages. And so their internet's coming and going. I mean, my internet's very slow, but I don't know why today. It actually cut off in the middle of the night, which I was trying to watch something on my little iPad because I couldn't sleep. So I was a bit cross because my iPad went out on me. Yeah. You're in southeast London. I'm in Fleetwood, as you probably gathered from the title. Oh, the mouse is gone. Yes, you'd be glad to know. My son caught the mouse, so unless it had a family, we are mouseless. Touch wood. Not superstitious, but touch wood, touch wood. Oh, you're in Warrington, Linda. You're not that far from me then. Well, compared to America. But it's not, I mean, I was talking to my niece. My niece has gone and sprained her ankle. Jogging. She thought she'd broken it, but she's been and had the x-rays and that, and they said it's not broken. Oh, the dog was playing with it. It was chasing it round, but it wasn't actually catching it because it's not a cat, is it? Yeah. So I didn't see it for about 4 days after the dog had chased it round, but thought it had gone, but no. Hi, Juanita. Oh, I just stabbed my thumb. Should be more careful where I'm stitching up, shouldn't I? She said. I can't find half my stuff, so I can't find me proper pins, you know me. I have special garment pins that I use, and I don't know where they are. Oh dear. Well, we got the new garage door on Monday, so we did get something new this week. He was ordered in December, so he finally came. But now we've got a leak on the garage. No, I'm trying not to stitch my thumb in the cardigan, yeah. I haven't been to the Lake District for many, many years. What am I finishing off? I'm finishing off a cardigan for me. Just a boring old pale grey cardigan. You know, a go with everything kind of cardigan. Because as you know, I can't find any of my stuff. So I made myself a grey cardigan. I found a cream cardigan and I found a dusty pink cardigan. So now I've got a grey cardigan. Well, I will have in a minute when I stitch this sleeve in. Yeah. I had to order the wool for this because, all the wool that I could find was either baby wool that my friend sent me, or it's jazzy wool, you know, like what I call shawl wool. Oh, you're joking, Connie, I can't wait. Everything seems to be geared to the end of March. It's going to be like Fred Carnell's circus when in March, because everybody and his dog's going to be here. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. You know, everything seems to be coming at the end of March. Hi, Denise. Yeah. Well, I've only used the new lot for the sleeves, so I'm stitching them in now, so I'll be able to see better. So now I've got 2 left over from the sleeve dye lot, and I've got 1 left over from the body dye lot, so Lord knows what I'm going to do with that. It'll probably wind up as a hat. Crazy family. You know, Connie, no, we're a bit eccentric, I would say, but we're not actually crazy. We don't want to put people off, do we? You know, but we are a little eccentric. That's what makes it so much fun. Yeah, being a little eccentric. We are not a mopey brunch on here. Hi, Brandon. How are you doing? We've got another gentleman in the room. Hi, Ethan. Hi, Maria. Yeah. None of the other guys yet. No Nathan, no Miguel, no nothing. Oh, I know, crafty goth. There's nothing wrong with being a bit loopy, so, you know. Let's face it, you know, in this world the way it is at the minute, we all need to be slightly loopy to cope, don't we? Otherwise we'd all go absolutely raving bonkers. And I don't mean that any nasty way if anybody's got mental problems. I just mean, yeah, you're male, Brandon's male. I think you're the only 2 males in here at the moment. Can I remember your name? No, because I'm old and I'm doolally, so I don't remember anything. Yeah. So please don't be offended because I forgot your name already. It takes me ages to remember people's names. You ask Miguel. I called him on every name under the sun except Miguel for a long, long time. You're female, I know you are, Eason, yes. Not that it matters on this channel whether you're male, female, anything. We don't care. You could be an ostrich for all we care. Hi, Marsha. Yeah, we don't discriminate against ostriches, yeah, or birds of paradise. Yeah. I know lockdown is sending us all a bit dippy, isn't it? You know, it's either that or you get like paranoid, isn't it? You know, worrying about everything. I don't want to do that. I'd rather be slightly than be worried all the time about what's happening next. And oh yes, you can perfectly well be green the spot. What would my dad used to say? Sky blue pink with a yellow dot. Yeah. Oh, we've got another mail. Hello, John. Your name's Ben. Right. I'll try and remember Ben, but I'm not very good at remembering. Hi, Jeannie. You'll find that out the more you come on here. Is my memory is, so don't be offended, anybody, if I forget your name. I'm one of those that has to run through all the names of my great grandchildren because there's always one I can never remember. And I'm like, I go through them from top to bottom, like, you know, there's always one. And then about 10 minutes later, it pops in my head. Yeah. Hi, Pauline. I was on a web page on Facebook the other day about, you know, sort of in the 60s, which, you know, I remember because I'm that old. And they were saying, like, did your mum ever run through everybody's name before she got to yours? And I said, well, my grandma had 16 children and they were all married and they all had kids. So you can imagine what it was like when my grandma shouted me, can't you? I got like the 16 names of her kids, males as well as females. And I got half of my cousins before she got to me. Hi, just Deborah. Oh, I'm so glad Granny D sent you over. Welcome, welcome. You're always welcome. Any new projects? No, I've not started one yet. I'm just finishing this off. So I've got to have thoughts, yeah. Hi, Jill. Hi, Jill. How are you doing? Have you got your electric sorted out? Poor Miguel's having problems, isn't he, now and again, yeah? When my mum only had one girl and one boy, and she never got my name right either. So I got a bit paranoid, you know. Mainly I got my son's birthday wrong for years. Put him on the wrong birthday and I've only got the one kid. I kept wishing him happy birthday on the 31st, and his birthday's on the 30th. And I used to ring him up and say, happy birthday. And he used to say, thank you very much, but it was yesterday. I know, you see, you Texans, you're not used to a bit of snow, are you? Not like the rest of us. Well, Miguel's shoulder, luckily, he didn't damage it because he slid into a ditch the other day, going out in ice and snow. How many times do we tell him, stay put? And anyway, fortunately, he got towed out by some people who were passing by. But the problem was they damaged his, I don't know what you call it. He calls it his bit at the back under the bumper, skirting, whatever you call it. Yeah, he damaged that. But as I was saying to him, if he'd have been in the UK, he'd have still been in the ditch. Because, you know, nobody has a truck and nobody has a tow bar and nobody has anything. So unless you're a member of the AA or the RAC or something like that, you'd have to call a tow bar. And he would charge you an absolute fortune to get you out the ditch, yeah. So he's very lucky. Oh, welcome to the club, just Deborah. No, I can't remember. The only room I remember why I've gone into is usually the bathroom, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Miguel went out apparently to get some petrol or gas, as you call it in America, and he slid into a ditch. So, of course, I was a bit cross with him because he'd gone out anyway in all that weather. So, but as I was saying to him, he's fortunate. In the UK, it would have cost him hundreds of pounds to be towed out of the ditch, yeah. Yeah. Hi, Chris, how are you doing? Oh, we're doing well with the guys here now. We've got Ben. We've got Chris. We've got Brandon, yeah. And anybody else? We've got 3. Yeah. And I hate to tell Shad, but I unpacked a box, and what did I find? The green ticking clock. But Chris will be glad to know I didn't bring it in here. It's in the bedroom. But I just thought I'd let Shad know that I've actually found the clock, because I know he hates it. Ah, here you are, Shad. I was just talking about you. I found the green clock. It's in my bedroom, ticking away. I didn't bring it in because I thought you, even though I knew you missed it, Shad, but I didn't actually bring it in. Oh, John, I forgot you. Yes, of course you're a man. Yes, so we've got more men here. More men in. More men. Yeah, you see, the people in Texas, they've just never seen snow before. They don't know what it is. They might as well have been on a desert island. It's like, oh, snow. I must admit, they've not had snow here that's stuck in Fleetwood for 10 years, where I am now, because we're too close to the ocean, apparently. And when you're near the ocean, the salt in the air, it stops the snow from sticking. We did have some. What's the substance? I don't know. They're all going crazy because they see the bit of snow. You know, in the UK, we'd have just put another coat on, you know. Yeah, he's trying to wrestle alligators, yeah. I don't know why he wanted to drive into a ditch. It's a bit silly of him, isn't it? Right, I've actually sewn it all up now. You'd be glad to know. Hi, Adelaide. Oh, somebody else from Northern Ireland for you, John. Another Irish person. I don't know whether you're in Northern or Southern Ireland, so John, you'll have to forgive me if I've done it wrong. Ireland is Ireland. I don't distinguish between the two bits. Right. It needs blocking out, obviously, where I've stitched the sleeves in. But there you go. I finished it. Finished it. It needs like a bit of a press. Where the sleeves are, because they never sit right, do they, till they've been blocked. Yeah, so that's it. He's even got his buttons sewn. Another cardigan. We've not really had any ice, actually, Crafty Goth. No. We've, yeah, well, that's what I started it for. Lovely and warm, because I was cold on the day I started it. But I don't know what I'm doing next. No idea. It's actually broken, the green clock. It's got no back on it. So what stitch was it? Well, if you're in England, it was a double crochet and a single crochet. Double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. And on the way back, you do it the opposite way around. If you're in America, of course, it's a double crochet and a single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. Not in the same stitch, alternate it. And then when you go back the other way, you do it in the opposite. You do the double crochet and the single crochet and the single crochet and the double crochet. I don't know what it's called. There was a few sort of suggestions of what it was called last week, but we never really decided exactly what it was called, whether it was moss stitch or what stitch, we don't know. It's ticking away, my clock. It's ticking, Shad. It's in my bedroom, so you can't hear it. I did think to bring it in just to show you that I'd actually found it, but I thought, no, he won't like that at all. As you can see, we've had another leak. This bathroom is turning into a nightmare. Every time we do, it's dripping. The plumber's been backwards and forwards. We're on first name terms with him now, yeah. Well, I've not been rushing with it, Carol, so it has took me a little bit to do the cardigan, yeah. Yeah. So, who's saying hello? Oh, hi, Joy, here. Yeah, I was going to put it on the desk, Sandra, but I thought, it'll just drive Chris and Shad absolutely bonkers, Hi, Teresa. It's all right, I'm putting hand cream on. My hands are... Do your hands ever, like, cry out for cream? They're just so dry that they're like, put something on me, put something on me. My hands are like that. Oh, you want Jill as well, do you? Blossom is Jill, if anybody doesn't know. There's Jill and this she's called Jill or Blossom, yeah. Yeah, it's my feet do that as well. I don't know what anybody else's feet do. I know his feet's not a nice subject, is it? But feet feel like that, yeah. Hi Ginger. Hi Martha. I'm doing okay, as you can, like leak permitting, yeah. Do you know, you're not the only one, Jill. I've been right down in the dumps this week. I can't say it. I mean, my niece said to me, why? And I said, I don't know. For those of you who don't know, my poor niece fell over while she was jogging and she's hurt her ankle, but she hasn't broken it, thankfully. But she's got a very, very bad sprain here. Mm-hmm. Hi, Isaac. Oh, more men. Hi, Isaac. Hi, Linda. Hi, everybody. I actually got my niece to go past my old house, for a bit of a nosy, see what's going on. And my lovely woodwork in the lounge? They've painted everything pistachio green. You don't paint woodwork pistachio green, do you? Horrible. Right. Hi, Squirrel Raid, yeah. I'm glad I'm not there to see it. I know once you've sold a house, you've got no control over what they do. But I would have thought they'd have took the wood down and at least had it replastered or something, but paint it all. I mean, it's really sort of 80s, isn't it? Pistachio green. Just watch when they do a what do you call it, a thumbnail. They always pick one where I'm going, I never alter because they make me laugh. They never get me going, smiley, sweet. They always get me going. Might make more people come and watch me, yeah. It will, Isaac. Yeah, it'll find it. It'll go, what horrible face has she just pulled today? What's she just done? I've just finished my cardigan, whatever. I know you always call them a sweater if you're in America. I've just stitched the last sleeve up on it. Just stitch the sleeve up. There it is. Hold on. I've got to start something else now. But I don't know what. I was looking at patterns on YouTube before. Yeah, we call them a jumper or a sweater, but we call anything with buttons or a zip, we call it a cardigan. Yeah, cardigan. But I know when I'm looking for things on Ravelry, if I type sweater, I get all these things with buttons and everything. It tickles me because I'm thinking, how do you differentiate between a sweater and a button-up sweater and a zip-up sweater? Are they all sweaters? Well, my Ancestry.com told me that I came from, God, where did I come? I'm mostly Scottish and Irish. And I've got some English. I've also got some Viking or whatever it is, yeah. Oh, Etsy. I've got to do all that. I was talking to Kelly today. See, we do still talk, even though, she's not. But we do still talk. We're still friends. And we were talking about this new cat, this having to sort of sort it out if you sell to the EU. You've got to have this registration number for selling to the EU. I haven't sold anything to the EU ever. So, yeah. You get buckets of snow to flush the toilet. One way of flushing it, Shad, yeah. One way of doing it, yeah. Yeah, I've got to do mine once. Yeah, I've got some Irish, yeah. My dad's side of the family came from Ireland. So, but they went to Scotland, so. But my mum's side of the family is very boringly English, straight down the line. They never went anywhere. From generation after generation after generation was all born right round the corner from where I was living. Yeah. But my dad's side must have been the Wanderlust lot. But I mean, I suppose we've all got a bit of Viking or something. But what got me was I've actually got some Middle Eastern. Only a small percentage, but Middle Eastern. I wouldn't have thought that. Like, Kurdistan, Uzbekistan, and all them places. I thought my ancestors were French, Teresa. And according to Ancestry.com, was it DNA? So I'm not. But I'm going to go back into it because it was such a tale all through my family, passed down the generations that we came. Not French, actually, we came from Normandy. But I can't find out. I'll have to tell you later, John, because I've got my bit of paper with the Ancestry.com stuff in it in the other room. So I don't know what part of Ireland they came from. I can't remember what their names were. It wasn't O'Neill. But my aunt used to have friends in Ireland, and every year they used to get sent a bit of shamrock in a little, those little cake boxes that you get from wedding cakes. Somebody used to send her a bit of shamrock every year from Ireland. And it used to arrive, and it used to be a little bit sad by the time it arrived, yeah. No, you didn't find me any Normandy, right? And yet all the family insist that we originally came from Normandy. But you didn't. I know you didn't find anything, and the DNA didn't find anything. So I'm really quite disappointed. I wanted to be Normandy. Yeah, I just want to be something a bit more exciting. I want to be something a little bit Frenchy or something, a little bit Norman. Yeah. Yeah. Flemish. Because my family were Flemish, were weavers, and apparently they came as Flemish weavers. But we can't find any trace of that. Yeah. Yeah, you did print the tree out, and there's no trace of anything French in it or Normandy, which I'm so disappointed about. Maybe it was so far back, Pauline, that it wasn't on the Ancestry.com. Yeah. Hello, crochet at my house. Hello, hello. Yeah, I would have loved to have proved that I did come from Normandy. Even if it was a million years ago, I would have just loved to have that little bit of excitement in my life. I'm not saying Irish and Scottish is not exciting, but you know what I mean. I just would have liked that little bit of. But if my DNA doesn't say I'm part French or anything, then what else? What? Not that I don't think they're 100% accurate anyway. Well, it looks as though I'm a bit of a mixture between. I've got a bit of Welsh in me apparently, but hi, Steve. Got another guy, and we're doing well with our guys today, aren't we? Except for Miguel, he's probably having a touch of internet troubles, yeah. Yeah, a touch of the exotic. Wouldn't it be nice if I had a little touch of the exotic, yeah? What am I needing to put in the website? When I start with my Etsy, I've got a pile, and I mean a pile of finished garments that I just put on hold. I just put the shop on hold. So I'm not going to be doing it anymore now I'm here. So I'm just going to have a massive sale. And my niece said, don't have a big sale till I've been and had a rummage. I said, fine, that's fine. Because by the time my stuff comes back from the storage unit, it should be the end of March. And she should be allowed, I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, to visit by then. Bye, Linda. Hi, Sisters Knit and More. You only visited England? Well, yeah, I'd like to visit other places. I mean, to say at my age group, I've not really been to an awful lot of places. You know, I really haven't, yeah. But I think a lot of people in the US will have different bloods, won't you? You can't be 100% American unless you're Native American, can you, from what I can gather? Not that I'm an expert on Ancestry. But when you think about it, America's made up of everybody coming from England and Ireland and everywhere. You know, when you go back into, I watched that Who Do You Think You Are, like the Americans, and they nearly always finish up back in England, don't they, the people? Because they've always got some relative that went over on the Mayflower or something, or somebody who was not a pilgrim, what do they call them? Quaker or something. No, I haven't been ordering any yarn for a long, long time, crochet at my house, so I really am the wrong one to ask at the moment, because I've got so much in stash. In fact, I gave half of my stuff away, so I'm only bringing half of it, and even when I bring half of it, that'll be more than most people's stashes. I had enough to have a wool shop on my own. I had a garage full, and I had my one bedroom in the house, not a little bedroom, a big bedroom in the house, absolutely full of yarn. Yeah. Well, the Irish went over when it was the potato famine, and they were all starving, and you know, they had nothing. They were literally dying because the potato had got blight. And so a lot of the Irish then went to America just to survive, yeah. Hi, Nathan. Hi, Nathan. Hello there. You never went any further back than your mother, did you, Shad? Yeah, I came from my mother, surprisingly, yeah. I think we all did. Oh, my lips are sore. Your kids came from the hospital. You nothing to do with it, Marsha. They just handed you me through the hatch, didn't they? Come into the hospital and I'll hand you through the hatch. We were just talking about that today, actually, online. You know, all these COVID women who are saying, oh, it's horrible. Nobody can be in with me. My husband can't be with me when I'm giving birth. Nobody can be with me when I'm giving birth. And I'm like, welcome to the 60s. In the 60s, you couldn't. Nobody was allowed with you. It was just you and the midwife or whatever. Yeah. Nobody else went, unless you had a home birth. I think they might have been a bit more relaxed if you had a home birth. But when you were in hospital, you were in there on your own, yeah. It's the same with me, Sandra. I have got an absolutely ridiculous amount of stash. But bear in mind that for a while, that was kind of like my livelihood. That was how I earned a little bit to keep my pension going. But now I'm not in such a, not going to be rich, don't get me wrong, but I'm not in such dire financial straits as I was when I was living on my own. So I don't need to be at everybody's beck and call and crochet for orders anymore. So I'm just not going to do it anymore. Yeah. No, I had a hospital. Well, I don't like going into details, but my son was upside down and there was all kinds of complications. So I was glad I was in hospital because I finished up in theatre, yeah. So it's a good job I wasn't at home. I'll obviously have to make something, Jill, because I've got so much yarn to work my way through. Is it hard living on a pension? Yes, living on a basic pension would be very, very hard. I was fortunate enough to be disabled, if you call it that. So I did get a small amount of mobility pension, which was like a little bit of jam on the bread, you know. But if I'd have been living on basic pension, I just don't know how I could have managed. I just don't know how I could. You know, some months it was not kind of hand to mouth, but you know, I had to pull my horns and I had to pray that nothing broke down like a washing machine, you know, because then, I mean, I actually had to remortgage my house to get new windows put in because I had wooden windows in the old house and they were falling out, literally falling out. And so the only way I could get any money, was to remortgage my house, yeah. So, see, if you'd lived in this country, I couldn't sell my knitting machines. I was practically giving them away. I had one that, it broke my heart to sell it. I sold it for £100 and something, I think, and it had cost me over £1,000. I had every attachment known to man, every gizmo, everything. Books. I gave this woman a box full of books and magazines and manuals, and that broke my heart to sell that, but I couldn't bring it. Yeah. Hi, Seaside Mum. It is. I like my independence, I must admit, but yeah, we've got free NHS, but I mean, we've paid for it. It's not free, is it? I mean, I paid for it all my blooming life. I worked from 17 up to 60 with 6 weeks off when I had my son. So I think I earned my NHS and my pension. But, you know, the UK at the moment, it makes you feel guilty because you're living. You know, you should get to pension age and die, according to them. You know, you shouldn't be around. You're living too long. Go away. Yeah. 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 I was lucky in a way that I retired at 60. It affected my pension very badly because I would have had a much bigger pension if I could have carried on going for another 3 months, because I was due a pay rise and they work your pension out on the last salary that you had. But if I'd have stayed on another 3 months, I wouldn't have been able to retire at 60. In that interim period, they put the pension leaving age up to 63, and it's gone up again since then. Yeah. So I was glad even though it hit me financially, I was glad that I retired at 60 because I couldn't have carried on. I just couldn't. I needed a major spinal surgery, and my employers were less than sympathetic, let's just say. And I just couldn't carry on. I was in so much pain. But that is another story for another time. We don't discuss things like that on Saturday Night Live. We don't lower the tone. Yeah. Hi, Rebecca. Yeah. I'm fine. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's this lipstick. I don't know what it is. Beauty. What is it? Beauty something or other. Beauty pie. It's making my lips dry. It's like one of those kind of lipsticks, but it dries matte. Yeah. Oh, you usually lower the tone. You know, it's usually Nathan actually that lowers the tone. Hi, Ariane. Nice to see you. Yeah, when you consider that my employer was the Department of Works and Pensions, who preached to everybody, all and sundry, that you have to have equal rights for everybody who's disabled. But when it came to their own disabled staff, they were wrong. They didn't practice what they preached, let's say. I'm doing very well, Ian. Funny enough, you sprung into my mind actually today. I put my lips on over the top of my lips. Lipstick is not right, is it? I was thinking about you today, actually. And I was thinking, I wonder how Ian is. So I must have rattled your brain, because here you are. I must have sent my thought waves over. How is Ian? How is Ian? So, yeah. So I was thinking about you, Ian. Oh, dear. Oh, no, my lips are greasy now. Was I having a nightmare? No, I wasn't having a nightmare, Ian. No, I was just wondering how you was, because I haven't heard from you in a while, I was just checking you were still in the land of the living and not got COVID or anything, yeah. Yeah, it's gone in the bin, that. I know I've got a lot of it left. In fact, it's quite new, but I just don't like it. It's just, yeah. You like me plodding on, yeah, plodding on, yeah. For my leak. Keep showing everybody my leak, don't I? Leak. I had to poke big holes in the ceiling because we thought we'd cured it, everything was fine, the plumber hadn't leaked for days, and then it came through like it was no tomorrow and wet the carpet through. Good job, it's an old carpet and we're not keeping it. Yeah, I've had my first jab as well, yeah. I've had that AstraZeneca, that the ones in, some other countries say they don't want it because it's not us, whatever. So, but I don't care. I've had a jab, haven't I? So yeah. You're working on making some socks, yeah. I should wear socks, more often because I've got really cold feet. I've got poor circulation. Yeah, this leak is frustrating the plumber because he can't blooming find it. Every time he thinks he's cured it, right, we're sorted, we're all right. Then flipping comes through again. I'm just thankful that I hadn't decorated in here. As you can see, it's still the same state it was in, and it will be. I mean, I've even got my cupboards over there now. That's a new television, if you can see it there, that big telly. The fire's hiding behind there. There's my wallpaper. Light, my yellow-orange light that I used to always have on behind me. Yeah. I get itchy with wool socks, I do really. I didn't have any after effects whatsoever, unless it was tiredness. When I first had the jab, I was so tired all the time I couldn't keep my eyes awake, but that could have been just me. And but now I'm wide awake, yeah. Yeah. Only me. Yeah, the leak. Can you send him over here, Jill, and sort my leak out? Because my plumber doesn't seem to be finding it. Yeah. We'll do something small. Well, hello, Kelly. Hello, Kelly. Ooh, Kelly's in the house. Kelly's in the house. Did the shot hurt? No. It's just like having a little injection. You feel a little, whatever, little zip in your arm, don't you? Hello. Who have we got coming in the house here now? Does it seem to be something with 4 legs? Yes, it does. I wish she'd learn to shut the door behind her. Here we go. Shut the door. Hi, Popsicle. You come to see your gran? Oh, yeah. I think you like my comfy carpet, don't you? She spent nearly all day with me today. I don't know whether she likes the carpet or what. You've been watching a live stream showing a moonflower bloom opening. All right. No, this one won't shut the door. I don't know what she's part. She's part of something. You're going to start one of these lovies. Right. Hi, Denise. Hi, Denise. We've got a full house today, haven't we? Yeah, I don't know whether I was tired from after my injection or whether it was just me anyway. But now I can't sleep, so whatever, yeah. I think we all feel as though we're treading water, don't we? You know, I never want to wish my time away because, I mean, at my time of life, you know, I want every minute I can get. But I really am hoping to get to the end of March because there's so much happening in this house in March that I'll feel like it's home. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Valerie. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. No Miguel yet, but he's having internet problems. His power keeps going in and out. Yeah, so yeah. I don't. I couldn't teach mine. He would have never listened to me. If I'd have had to teach Ian, would have been at loggerheads. I'd have been thumping him in the middle. But any progress this week? Yeah, a leak. The leak again. The leak. No, we have had progress actually. We've got the hall decorated. And it's not painted yet, but it's decorated. And my bedroom, or my would-be bedroom, is partly decorated. And I don't know whether it's the lounge upstairs that's decorated. But anyway, they're coming back on Monday to finish off, yeah. We've got the carpet man coming on Monday. I can choose my carpet, but obviously I can't have it put down because I've got to have a log fire put in yet, and he's not coming till the end of March. But at least I can choose the colour. Oh, and I've ordered a three-piece, not a three-piece suite. I've ordered an L-shaped sofa, yeah. And that's not coming till the end of March. No, it's not a wooden beam. Look if you can see it. It's a leak. And those things hanging down from the ceiling are not ornaments. They are holes in the ceiling. Can you hear Poppy? She's groaning. Apparently she went on the beach today and they found a ball. So she was playing with a ball. So she's running around. No, it's not from the roof, Joy. We had a new bathroom put in upstairs and it's leaking somewhere. The poor plumber's backwards and forwards like a flipping yo-yo. And he can't find out where the leak is. We can't find out where the leak is. But every now and again, it leaks. Yeah. So I can't decorate or do anything until we find out where the leak is. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, my friend has, he's almost 12 months grandson that lives in Scotland. And she's only managed to see him once. You know, I mean, that's sad, isn't it? Yeah. Why are there holes? Because it was holding the water in the ceiling. So we put holes into. My recliners are still in the garage. Thankfully, the garage sprung a leak, but the recliners are dry. It's like the saga. You get up every morning and it's like, what's happening next? Yeah, it's a bungalow, but there's an upstairs only. Yeah, it's like a bungalow, like that. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why we're late, Miguel. I don't know. You're late to the party. Where have you been? You've been in that ditch again. I don't know. I was telling Miguel he's lucky he lived in somewhere where they got towed him out of the ditch. If it had been, it's all coming down, Chris. The ceiling bit, it's all having a new piece put in, and it's all being redone. We've put the holes in it to let the water out. Yeah, yeah. It does feel like 40 towers. You've been asleep, have you? You are so fortunate you live in a place where they have tow ropes and things, because otherwise, Miguel, you'd have still been in that ditch if you'd have been in England, unless you had plenty of moolah, yeah? Because nobody would have towed you out without, yeah. Yeah, he lost his pom-pom under the bed. Yeah. Why is there a ban on yarn? Is there? I didn't know there was a ban on yarn. Uh-huh. We had one of those last week. We had a idiot troll that kept coming back under different names, but it was obviously the same person. Yeah. You had 11 inches of snow and it's the seaside. How did you manage that? Apparently, there was a guy on the Fleetwood site, and he put a picture of like 3 inches of snow. I don't mean 3 inches of snow deep. I mean a 3 inch square of snow. And he said, "Help, I can't get out, I'm snowed in." I mean, that's like an in joke because there's never any snow. Oh yeah, the ban is for the 30th and the 31st, Sandra. Yeah, that's the ban on. You can't buy any yarn on the 30th and the 31st. You've got to sign the pledge that you won't buy any. Yeah. Oh, we had a troll that kept coming in, changing its name, and it kept pinching people who were in. It pinched my name and my picture. It kept pinching people's names and saying it was something else. Yeah. I see it at Crosby Beach froze. I was watching the lady. There's a video I watched. She does videos on the File Coast, and she said it has to be -18 before the sea freezes. Yeah. Apparently, you can freeze salty water just in your freezer at home if you wanted to, but the actual sea doesn't freeze unless it's -18. So I know it was cold here, but it was -18. If you think about it, Kelly, how many days are there in February? That's why it's the 29th and the 30th. Because it's not a leap year. Mm. Yeah. Apparently, somebody in Blackpool, I think, said they'd seen a little bit of ice on the sand. Oh, the ban. It's a joke, Connie, saying that you can't buy any yarn. You've got to pledge not to buy any yarn on the 29th and the 30th of February. Well, there isn't one, is there? There's no 29th and 30th, unless it's a leap year. Yeah, it's a joke, Marsha, yeah. That's why you've got to sign a pledge that you won't buy any yarn. It's a ban. Yeah, so I heard. I've watched on the news. The snow in Texas. You see, you're just not used to it, are you? You don't know what to do with snow, do you, Texas? If it had been England, we'd have just put another coat on, and said, "Oh, it's a bit parky today, a bit nippy." I mean, up north, they're hardy lot, unless it's actually snowing. They're still in the shorts here. Yeah, you're just not used to cold weather. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we used to have that every year. Just recently in the UK we haven't. But when I was a child, we used to have about like 12 inches of snow was quite regularly. Um, you're not going to buy any Ruth, right? Okay, I'm glad you're joining the band, yeah. Yeah, you Carol, yeah, you used to live in Yorkshire, yeah. Regularly used to have 12 inches of snow was quite regular every winter. But I don't know what's happened. I don't know whether it's this global warming that some people say doesn't exist. But, we used to, when I was a kid, it snowed every winter. You just waited for it. And you ploughed. It used to be over the top of your Wellingtons when you were trying to get to school. When we got to school, there'd be all these socks like drying on the old-fashioned radiators, and put your wellies under, to get them dried out so you'd be dry for going home again. It's the same with the coats, yeah. We used to hang our coats in the cloakroom and they used to be dripping, because of all the ice and the snow that came, yeah. Yeah, Eileen, yeah. We're definitely getting less snow, Isaac. I think the winters are getting warmer. I know I joke I'm cold, but I mean, I'm not cold like I used to be cold. I mean, it used to be like, get up in the morning and, your breath you could see it in the bedroom. It used to be so cold back in the day. But now it doesn't seem to be that cold anymore. You're right there, Ian. Yeah, we did. Well, thank you, Susan. Thank you, Granny D, for recommending it. Yeah. Yeah, I think our seasons are all sort of rolling into one. We don't have the hot summers anymore. We don't have the very cold winters. We're just getting an even temperature. When we get a hot day like 80 degrees, we're like, wow, it's heat wave. Whereas people in America are going, well, that's normal, 80 degrees is normal. But we're all like, wow, 80 degrees, whoa, it's a heat wave. How can we cope? But, I wouldn't put them on top of the radiator. I'd put them underneath. Yeah. I'm not surprised you're freezing if it's minus 25, Lena. I get cold if it's less than 20 degrees in here. Oh, Miguel's here now. Miguel's thawed out, yeah. Yeah, yeah. We've got quite a lot of guys in here today, Miguel. We've got loads of them. We've got John, we've got Ben, we've got Isaac, we've got Nathan, I think. I think we've got Nathan. We've got Ian. Who else have we got? Shad. Somebody else I'm missing. Yeah, yeah. No, our summers are not very hot in the UK, sadly. Yeah. Oh, it's you that's missing, Chris. Sorry, Chris. Of all the people to miss, you. Yeah, we've got enough for a boy band today. Your bed's calling, is it, Isaac? Okie dokie. We'll let you off, Isaac. If you're going to bed early, we'll let you off, yeah. Where are you, Nathan? I don't know, love. I'm very confused today, yeah. Hi, Donna. Yeah, we've got a boy band in here. Yeah. Happy birthday, who knows? I don't think it's Miguel's birthday, is it, Donna? Oh, you're not good with heat at all. I love it, you know I do. I'm going to really miss my decking. Hey, Kelly, you know my woodwork in the front room? My niece went past today and they've painted it pistachio green. How ugly is that? Ugh. My woodwork pistachio green. Yeah, we need fur. Isaac, somebody's asking you on Instagram if you've not already disappeared. He is, I'm sure he is. I'm sure I've seen his birdies on Instagram, yeah. Hospital green. No, it's... She said it looks like that, you know, bathroom colour that they used to have in the 70s. I said, that's avocado. She said, no, it's a bit lighter than avocado. She says, I call it pistachio. But either way, it's ugly. She said it looks ugly. And they've no furniture in the front room at all. But they've still got my curtains. And the bedroom curtains were still drawn. Yeah, a bit lighter than olive green, Denise. She was trying to describe it. It was lighter than avocado and whatever. But, I mean, painting woodwork. Rip it out or leave it, but don't paint it green. And she said the whole room was green. They haven't done a feature wall or anything, you know, it's just all green. She said it looked vile. I'm glad I'm not there to look at it. But I'm just so amused they've still got my curtains. 3 months later and they've still got my tatty curtains. I'd have painted it a lot, especially in the dining room. The dining room was so dark. You know where I used to do my videos? It was so dark because it was all woodwork, yeah. Yeah. I was going to paint the, if it had stayed, I was going to paint the dining room like a very delicate grey. No, she was asking if Ian was on Instagram. Not Ian, Isaac, sorry, was on Instagram, and I'm saying yes, he was. But next doors must have been sold, the detached Tony's house, because the for sale sign's missing. But she said it's still got the same vertical blinds, yeah. I can't stand them. I hate them things. Oh, pink, no, in England it was avocado. Oh, there was a house for sale the other day. And it had a brown bathroom suite. But, oh yes, you're really going to sell that house, yeah, a brown bathroom suite. I'm not doing any shopping at the moment, Ian, what's the point? I've ordered a new sofa. I've ordered a corner sofa in dark blue. And I've got 2 new recliners. Well, new to me recliners, but they're cream. So far it's cream and blue, and the wallpaper there, if you can see it behind Poppy standing up in front of the telly, it's sort of like a teal blue colour with silver leaves on it. There's Poppy, fast asleep. Yeah. Can you see my wallpaper a bit better now? It's leaning in front of the television, yeah. That's one of my units that will be when it gets put in its rightful place. The lovely horrible fire is behind. But I'm waiting for the man to come. I've got my diary here. I know the carpet man's coming on Monday, but only to give us an estimate and for us to choose, yeah. Let's have a look. Oh, the decorators are coming back on Monday to finish off, and the carpet man is coming for quotes. And then after that, there's nobody coming. Oh, February, I don't think. But I think the kitchen man's coming. I'm not sure when the kitchen man's coming. Oh, no, the kitchen's not coming till the 9th of March. So. And my shed's coming on the 8th of March. I can't wait. Can't wait to get my shed. That'll keep me occupied, won't it, for a while? Something to do. It'll take me ages organising it. Yeah. Crisps. I think they're Aldi crisps. They're called snack rights. Yeah. How am I doing today? I'm doing very well, Dina. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's an insulated she shed. Come in. Yeah. Hi, Phoebe. We're doing all very well. Kelly's on as well today, Phoebe. You're late as usual, Dina. Well, you're here, aren't you now? So we won't hold it against you. Yeah. No, I can't wait for the shed to come. I mean, I haven't seen my wool since I packed it away about October, was it? Something like that. Yeah, I think they're going to, I'm going to have a light or some description in there. Not because I'm going to be crafting in there, but I'll need a light, won't I, while I sort out stuff. Unless I can only sort it out in the daylight. But then again, I might do that because it's a bit cold at night. Yeah, Kelly's on here. Say hello before she falls asleep. Sorry, Kelly. Oh, that's nice, Sandra. You remember, won't you? It might not be put up on the day because when they come, they've got to do the concreting. So I don't know whether they can do it in Monday. So we're having the people that install it. My son said he'd do it at first, but I said, no, we'll just get the proper people. So just get it all put up and done and dusted, yeah. He's got enough to do without having to put a shed up. Yeah, he can put his own shed up if he wants one. I spoke to Sue. She's doing very well. I spoke to Sue. When did I speak to Sue? I speak to her every week, so I can't remember what day. Sometimes I speak to her twice a week. When did I speak to her? Can't remember. She can't wait for the lockdown because, she's got all her grandchildren and her children. Her 2 children are down here. And all her grandchildren are down here. So she can't wait to come down, but they're not allowed. The lockdown in Scotland is worse than it is here. My niece can't wait to come, but she's not allowed to come yet. Nothing to do with us, it's talking about COVID restrictions. I know Sue's dying to see her grandkids. She does FaceTime with them and stuff. It's like my daughter-in-law. She has to FaceTime with all of her grandkids because they're not allowed to come and visit us, you see. It's weeks since we've seen her. Yeah, I'm going to have to put my wool in. All my wool at the moment is in the storage unit, yeah. Yeah, it's not worth it, is it, Ian? It's quite a lot of money if she came down from Scotland and stuff. She could get fined quite a lot of money. Well, I mean, the worst part of the border at Scotland, they're not letting anybody through the border. Their restrictions are tighter than ours, yeah. I mean, we're quite lucky here because we've got the sea. So we don't have to go far. I've just put some chapstick on top of it, some Nivea, because it was making my lips dry. Peanut butter in soup? Oh God, no, I feel sick now. It's nearly been sick in my mouth now, Miguel. Oh, good fresh air, you're not joking, it's blowing a gale. My bathroom window faces the sea. So you know when you try and open it when you're having a shower so you can let the steam out, it's freezing. Yeah, I know, it's terrible. I mean, as I said, my friend, had a grandson born, he's a year. Next month he's a year old, and she's only seen him once since he was born. Hello, Rose. How are you? Rose from the Philippines is here. Hello. It says Sidi Aki, but it's actually called Rose. She's actually called Rose. I haven't watched your video yet, Rose. I know you've got one up, but I haven't watched it. Oh, you just woke up starting the day with coffee. Well, there's no finer way to start the day. I know, peanut butter and soup, it makes me want to vomit. Honestly, it does. Does anybody else think that's normal? Putting peanut butter in soup. It'll be all greasy anyway. I hate peanut butter. I hate peanuts. But peanut butter, oh. But putting it in soup. Oh, that's good, Venus. Your little channel's growing. I haven't been looking at anybody's YouTube videos. I'm sorry, everybody, but I haven't. So if I haven't been past your channel, don't be offended, because I've not been past anybody's channel. I think the only one I watched was Kelly's. I think she's the only one I've watched. Well, I did see a bit of Lester, but only because he's on Facebook. That's the only reason why I'm not so behind on Lester. He's been told off again for not putting his horses in the barn. But like he said, normally in Texas, they're too hot, yeah? I haven't watched your videos, Miguel, because you've not made any. She's in here, yeah. Yeah, they were telling him off, saying he should put more sides in his barn. But like he's saying, 99% of the time he doesn't need sides in the barn. But he's put like tarpaulin on the two sides with the wind, to keep the horses warm. Who have you changed to, Kelly? Who's your new supplier? No, I hate peanut butter. Oh, God. Tart. Not much of an advert for them then, is it? I don't know who we've got here. No, we haven't got Tart. I'm just trying to think who we've got. Can't remember. I re-sorted it all out. I'm still on that WhatsApp group, for the street I used to live on. And they were all complaining. And they're all on different networks saying that, it's just not been good. A couple of them that were using it for work were saying they'd have to get boosters or something, to boost the signal. I think we're with 3, Kelly. I might be wrong, but I think we're with 3. But we're lucky here, you see, because it's quite flat and there's no big buildings and stuff like that, yeah. The tumble dryer's still working. I can hear it tumbling away there. I did my washing today. I tend to do, I don't know why it's a force of habit. Even though I'm retired now, I always still used to do my washing at the weekend. Unless it was a gorgeous day and I was doing bedding or something like that. But I can't wait to get my blanket out of hibernation. My big blanket that everybody did. That everybody did squares for me. Can't wait. I know I'm getting a new sofa, but I'm going to put it on the back. Yeah, and I'm going to be looking for some like boho kind of cushion covers. That'll tally in with the teal and the blue. Yeah, yeah. I like watching Lester. He's got like all kinds of animals. Really, he's got goats. He's got all sorts. I do in lots of ways, Joy. I do miss it in some ways because I asked my son to get me some a bar of chocolate, and it's in little bars inside. The only reason I miss it is I miss the people, because everybody used to wave to me when they went past my window, and of course, with COVID and lockdown, I've not had a chance to make any friends over here yet. No, it's strange, isn't it? Look, it's all weird. Oh, it's just chocolate. Yeah, what's Lester? He's funny. Yeah, it's a smaller bar than it was before. It's only that big. Whereas it was quite big before. Yeah, as I was saying, I like watching Lester. He's got geese. He's got donkeys, turkeys, goats. Yeah, now it's only 4 little bits now. I bet the price hasn't changed. And I like watching the 2 hour man. The big man, little guys. But he has all these 2 hours, yeah. Yeah, he's got boars, hasn't he, and pigs, yeah. What else has he got? Goats, donkeys, cows, horses, chickens, turkeys, um, hmm. I thought about you today if you'd have lived in the UK, Miguel. Somebody was trying to give away this gorgeous white rooster. Yeah, beautiful it was. Beautiful white rooster. We're trying to find a new home for it. I tell you, Miguel would have been in an era, he'd have been after one of them baby goats when they're going to be born. There's going to be a lot of them, isn't there? Lester neuters his male goats. He doesn't neuter the female goats because they have a problem with anaesthetic. But unfortunately, his dad's goats or his uncle's goats, male goats, got into the pasture with Lester's little girls, and now they're all pregnant. So from saying he wasn't going to have any more baby goats, he's only got one cow. Which one took off? The baby? Oh. Yeah, he's got Tex, and then he's got Santana and the baby, hasn't he? The other cow went ages ago, didn't it? That disappeared ages ago. No, his uncle's goats got out and got into, the golden girls, all the babies. They're all pregnant. So he's going to be overrun. There's about 4 or 6 of the goats. All right, Carol, yeah. We'll see you next week. Yeah, because I thought to myself, if Miguel was any nearer, he'd be after one of them goats, because he was saying like he can't keep them all. He's going to have to find good homes for all the babies when they're born. He said he's not being mean, but he's only got so much pasture in which he can like graze them all on. No, it's Santana that's still there, isn't it? Santana and her baby. Yeah, no, I think it was his uncle's goats that got out, that did the deed. Because he's got unmuted male goats, his uncle. Or it might have been his sister. But either way, by the time he realised that the male goats were in with the female goats, it was like, oops, too late. Yeah. So he's going to be overrun with babies very soon, Miguel. I don't know how long it takes for baby goats to be formed, if you know what I mean, but when you consider they usually have more than one, and if he's got 4 or 6 of them that's pregnant, then he's going to be overrun with babies. Somebody said with his luck it'll all be males. Because loads of people want them if they're going to be female goats. But, oh no, Cornholio's not got the idea at all. But there's 2 different breeds of turkey, aren't there? So they're not anatomically correct for each other. 140 to 150. Oh, they won't be born for a bit then. It's a couple of weeks ago as he put the video up saying that, goats were all pregnant. So they must have been pregnant because they were quite heavily pregnant. They were really fat little. Because he said, has anybody noticed, like the elephant in the room kind of thing, that the goats are pregnant? Yeah. I mean, he's trying to get everything sort of sterilised, isn't he, on the farm so that he doesn't have any more babies. And then the disaster happens. An elephant? No, he's not got an elephant. They can have anything from 1 to 4, I think, goats. Because the golden girls, the ones who are pregnant, they're from the same mum. There's 4 of them. All females. And he just calls them collectively like the golden girls. I don't think he's called them after the golden girls. I don't think they're called that. Yeah, they've got a joint child between them, haven't they? And then he's got 2, or is it 3 kiddies? Lester. I think he's got 2 that he sees and 1 that he doesn't. They're Lester's goats, females, but either his sister's goats or his uncle goats that were male got in with the females, and so that they're pregnant now. All right. Miguel's confused, people. Watch out, Miguel's confused. It doesn't take a lot, but Miguel's confused. I think somebody asked Esther that question. I'm sure he said he got 3, but he doesn't see one of them. Oh, it was his dad's goat that did the deed. Yeah, Lester's a YouTuber. He has this channel where he raises lots of animals and stuff like that people, he rescues them and gets them bequeathed. But he doesn't want any more on his land because he's got enough animals for the amount of grazing he's got. So he didn't want any more babies. So he had all his male goats neutered and all his male animals neutered. But his daddy's goats or whatever, his uncle's goats or whoever it was, weren't neutered, and they did the deed. I love those little chihuahuas, though. I mean, he's lost 2 of them recently, hasn't he? The one with the chihuahuas. Not to any fault of his own, but well, it varies. Seems to vary, Joy, between having 1 and 4. I think 4 is the most they have. They usually have 2. They usually have twins. No, Lester doesn't have chihuahuas. It's the other guy who has the chihuahuas. I love watching him. He has about 30 chihuahuas rolling all over the house and, roaming about on his bed and everything. He calls them the breakfast club. I just love little chihuahuas, yeah. I just love them. My son doesn't. He thinks they're like little rats, and he said they're horrible. I'd love a chihuahua. Yeah, I'm a survivor donkey sanctuary, is Lester. Yeah. They can have up to 5. I've never known one. I think I was surprised when that one of Lester's had 4. Yeah, I'm talking about the chihuahuas now. Yeah, I love that channel as well. Is it called Big Guy, Little Dogs or something? Big Guy, Little whatever. I love that channel too. There's 2 that I watch all the time, and that's the chihuahuas and Lester. Yeah. You have to keep up, Chris. No good lagging behind. You'll be like Miguel in a bit. He loves his little dogs. I love that little one that's got little stubby little legs. It was born with little legs deformed. It's so cute, that dog. It sits up on its hind legs like that. It's really cute. And where would you put a pygmy goat, Nathan? I'm not being funny, but you can't keep it in the flat. Did he used to box, you mean, or was he a wrestler? He's too pretty to be a boxer, really, isn't he? Boxers have always got bent noses, haven't they? Yeah, Nugget. Oh, it's lovely, isn't that little dog? He loves that little dog, doesn't he? He was heartbroken the other week when he lost 2 of them. You've got your own garden. I know. I bet your neighbours will love you, though. Getting a goat, and it nibbles everything inside. The name of the little dog was Nugget, the one who had the deformed little legs. It's Nugget. He's got about 30 of them, though, and he knows all the names. He knows every. I'd get them all mixed up. But he knows all the history of each one of them, and he knows all the names. And yeah, I just love watching the little dogs. How he's turned his house over, just for the dogs, yeah. And he's got this massive, massive bed where they all sleep. My gran was like that. My gran had 16 kids and hundreds of grandkids. So when you went round, she'd go through everybody's names. I still call her Ian by his dad's name, and I don't know why. It's not as if I think about his dad. But for some reason or other, I do sometimes call him by his dad's name. Today must be the anniversary of Buster's death because... No, it's not. I was thinking it's not my brother's death anniversary tomorrow, it's his birthday tomorrow. Oh, lots of aunties and uncles, too many. I've only got 2 aunties by marriage left alive, and they're in their 80s. But all my other aunts and uncles on both sides of the families have all gone. No, Prince Philip's in hospital, that's all I know, but they won't release any reasons why he's in there. My aunties and uncles did live in the UK, but my cousins are all over the world. I've got them in Canada, America, New Zealand, Australia. I had them in South Africa. I think I've got some in Spain. My cousins are all over the place. I don't even know half of them. I know their names and I know they exist and I know whose family they belong to, if you know what I mean, which aunt and uncle they came from. But I don't actually. I haven't seen many of them since I was little. You know, the ones who went to New Zealand, they went when they were small. I think I saw one of them once when she came back. But I saw the ones in America about 5 years ago when we had a big reunion of the family. But they're 80 something now. So they're not likely to be flying over anytime soon, are they? Yeah. How long did my granny? My granny on my mum's side was about 93, I think. And my grandma on my dad's side was in her late 80s, I think. Yeah. I think she was in her late 80s when she died. But my grandma on my mum's side was 93, the one who had the 16 kids. She lived to be 93. And my mum, she was in her late 80s, I think, when she died. She was well in her 80s. She was in ill health with the last 4 babies. So she was always poorly. The channel for the dogs, Chris knows that. It's big men and little guys or something. Yeah. Yeah, she was never well and she had a couple of strokes and they kept gathering the family round saying she was on her last legs and there you are, big guy, little's world sanctuary here. Yeah, they gathered all the family around her bedside because she was supposed to be going, yeah. Well, I wish you'd send me some sleep, Kelly, because... Oh, no, I'm moving again now. Send me some sleep, Kelly, because I can't sleep. I'm tired and tired, but I can't sleep. I think I need to turn my alarm off and just sleep until I waken up, because nobody's coming tomorrow, as far as I know. I've been taking pills. I've been taking Nitol. I've been taking all sorts of things, and I still can't sleep. I was up most of last night. Nitol, yeah, I've took them, but don't have any effect on me, Kelly. None at all. My Tricia's put a reading light in my room, so I'll be able to at least read with a light, or instead of reading with a torch. It's a bit hard when you're laying in bed trying to read with a torch. It's only a little torch about that big. It's like the one Enid sent us both, yeah. Yeah. Enid sent us a care package, didn't she, with a little torch in it about that big. It's a great little torch, though. So, comes in handy for peering up the holes in the ceiling. Have you seen the holes in the ceiling, Kelly? Terrible. You think you've got problems with your leak? We've now got a leak in the garage, yeah. Oh, they've probably got a power back, so they're probably finding out they've got bursts and everything, yeah. Enid has been in hospital. I don't know if she's had a pacemaker put in or she's had a stent put in her heart. I know she's been in hospital, yeah. I only know that through Facebook. So that's where Enid's been. Oh, you mean the other Enid? I don't know where the other Enid is. No. I've not heard the other Enid. I'm talking about Enid Shaw. I'm not talking about the Enid that you know. I've just cottoned on now. The one that's called Crafty something or other. No, not that one. I don't know where she is. Not seen her for absolutely ages. No, she's not the one who's had the heart problems. No, it's another Enid. Yeah, there's two Enids, yeah. I don't know, baby. This is going to be. I may need a shoehorn to fit everything in my shed. Yep. I may be like putting my boot to the door to close it. Yeah. Yeah. I shall see. Hopefully, it's going to go down my stash and not up. How big is the shed? I think it's 16 foot by 8 or by 12. I'm not sure. It's not a small shed. Not a small shed. Yeah, I think that's what my Enid had done, Seaside Mum. Not the Enid that these people are thinking of. Can't think what she's called. Craft Enthusiast. That's the Enid you're thinking of. Chris, I don't know where she is. I've not seen her for weeks and weeks. I asked Jill if she'd seen her, and she said she hadn't. So I don't know where she went to. It's quite at least a couple of months or more since she's been on here. I don't think she's got a YouTube channel, so I don't think we know where she is at all. She just vanished, didn't she? Don't know where she went. No idea. I hope everything will fit in because I'm not having a bigger shed. I'm hoping that things will go down and not up. But like my son said, a shed's always handy anyway for putting other things in. If ever I get to the stage where I get my wool, down to a reasonable level, yeah. She does have a channel, does she? What Craft Enthusiast? I've not watched it, so I don't know. So I don't know. She just disappeared, didn't she? She just went off. 1 minute she was moaning about her husband and the kids, and then the next minute she She vanished. But she was always on Jill's channel, wasn't she, at one time? But she just vanished off there as well. Oh, a second shed. No, 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 I'm not having a second shed, Lydia. No, 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 they'd throw me out. I think my son's hoping that, if my stash goes down, that they'll be able to store all the things in the shed, like the garden chairs and stuff. Because at the moment it'll be just full of my wool and my patterns and stuff like that. I'll keep my books in here, in that. I've got bookcases at the back there. I don't know if you can see them, but there's one there. Perhaps she went walking and forgot to come back, Miguel. Yeah. But I mean, she's got the kids off school, hasn't she? She's got young kids, has she? A couple of young kids. No, she was always bawling and yelling at them. So I bet she'll be homeschooling them because of the COVID. I don't know whether it's the same in America, but over here, all our kids are off school. They're all being homeschooled. Yeah, they all got sore lips. It's that lipstick. I'm not using it anymore. It might only be pretty new, but all my bangle will be ready to shift. Oh, you mean my stash? All my stuff, yeah. I tried that, Sandra, but I must have bought crap. Excuse me, YouTube. We'll rephrase that. My map is rolled up in storage somewhere, so that won't emerge until a while. I saved everything, Miguel. I just don't know where anything is. I'm just hoping that nothing's got damaged in storage. Yeah. I actually found the other map as well, so I've actually got the two maps. But I don't know where either of them are at the minute. I don't know where anything is at the moment. That's the honest truth. I don't know where anything is. It's going to be a big surprise when I open up the bags from storage, because remember I packed them. It must have been about October when I packed them. September, October when I packed everything away. So I can't remember what I saved, what I gave away. I can't remember anything. Things I think I've got, I probably haven't got because they're probably what I gave away. I gave away all my oddments. I gave all them away. What did we have for supper? It was some concoction Irene had seen on TikTok or something. He made it. It was pasta and cheese. You know how much I love pasta. Hopefully the storage is mice free. Yeah, it's all sealed. It was pasta and chorizo sausage and peppers and something else or other. Yeah. Oh, good night, Rebecca. Yeah, good night. Yeah, I've got to start something new. I've got some wool. Yeah. A couple of hot whiskies. I had a drink last night, and I don't know whether that kept me awake or not. I drink dark rum with Coca-Cola, and I think it was the Coca-Cola that kept me awake. Oh, we shall see. Ian's a trained chef. He trained for 3 years to be a chef. But he's never been a chef, if you know what I mean. He finished his college course. He was only a youngster. He said, that's it now, I'm not going to do it again. So he is actually a trained chef. But my daughter-in-law does most of the cooking. Yeah. Yeah, 3 years at catering college. And he Came home on the last day, put his knives down and said, "That's it now." And went and got a job in a factory making kitchen units. I could have killed him. I struggled to keep him through college because there was no money. We had to pay for everything. You know, his family allowance that we had, his money stopped when he was 16, I think it was. And we had to keep him at college. We had to pay for every damn thing. And then he said he wasn't going to do it anymore. I could have brained him. I don't have any blood grandchildren. My son married into a ready-made family. Oh yeah, we had to buy all his knives, we had to buy all his uniforms and everything, his jackets, trousers, hats, aprons, yeah. I don't know how Prince Philip is. They're being very cagey. He's still in hospital as far as I know, but they're not saying what's wrong with him. They're just saying it's a checkup, but I don't know. Hi Tammy, how are you? Yeah, we had to send money in as well for if he was to bring anything home that he cooked. He had to pay for that to come home, but he never came home because he always ate it. So nothing ever arrived home. And we had to give him petrol money or gas money, as you would say in America, because where he went to college, it wasn't on a bus route. So he couldn't get there, but he could have got a bus pass, a free bus pass, but that was no use because the bus didn't go past his college. So he had a second-hand, really tatty banger of a car, yeah. I mean, Philip is what, 90-something, isn't he? And Eugene is called her baby after him. Eugenie, she called, whatever. Yeah, August Philip Hawk Brooksbank, I think she's called him, yeah. No, my knitting's all in storage. I'm going to sell it all when I get it back again, Miguel. I'm going to have a big sale on Etsy. But my niece wants to have a rummage through it all first and pick some things that she wants. I haven't got to sell it till she's had a look. Yeah, well, you know, at the royalty, they've got to have names, haven't they? That's about 6 miles long. But August. Apparently it's a royal name, but it's Augustus. I was working and his dad was working. I mean, his dad was still with us when he was at college, so we had to muster up the money between us. Yeah. It was hard. We didn't have a lot of money, but we managed. Oh, Enid's deleted her channel. Oh, strange. Wonder what went on there. I mean, I asked Jill, and Jill didn't know. Jill said she hadn't heard from her because she used to go on Jill's channels, didn't she? But the shed's going in my backyard, my back garden. Yeah, I've got a big back garden, so that's where the shed's going. Yeah. Yeah, they ran the restaurant when Ian was at college as well. Yeah. Yeah, it was a sweet little photograph of the new baby, wasn't it? All wrapped up in its blue little blanket. Well, it was cold, wasn't it? And it was nice that they didn't have a formal photograph. The midwife took the photo, didn't she? So they didn't have one. Didn't have a formal one. Oh, I've frozen. Yeah, right now. No, the shed's already brown, sadly. But it's got that preservative on it, and that's the colour of it, is brown. I'm not a fan of brown, but I don't know whether I'll be watching the Oprah Winfrey interview. It might get over here eventually. I'm not really a fan of Meghan. I never was really. I like Harry, but I was never a fan. Oh, avocado. No, that was my old house has been painted avocado. I don't like green. It's not my favourite colour. My office admin is something that you can always go back to, Ian, when you feel better. All right, Ruth, I'll let you off if you nodded off. I don't think they'll repaint it, Chris. I don't think so, yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, Ian, at all. I'm not a fan. Yeah. I don't know, there's just something about her. And her family, oh God, I mean, her mum looks nice enough, but the rest of the family, oof, yeah. Enough said about the rest of her family. She doesn't exactly come from class, does she? You know what I mean? I think Harry could have done an awful lot better. He had a handsome young man with everything going for him, and then, well, he's chucked it all away. I think he's going to regret it. You know, in later life, I think he's going to really regret it. Especially when his granddad passed away, yeah. I've got a couple of lovely sun cats. You remember that one I had that jingled? Yeah, I used to like Harry, but since he's been with her, yeah. Yeah, I love my wind chimes, yeah, I do. Trishy's got some wind chimes as well that we'll put outside. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're having this second baby now, and then oh, leave us alone. I bet you in a minute they'll be flogging that story to everybody. You know, it'll be like a YouTube channel, won't it, with a new baby? Yeah, I like anything like boho. I mean, I've still got all my crochet flowers. I've got to think about something to do with them. They'll probably finish up in my shed as like a curtain or something. No, I don't think Harry's gonna last when he starts getting bored with her and bored with America. Then what's he gonna do? He was better off staying in the blooming army. Yeah, I could do something like that. I don't know where the flowers are in a minute. They're safe, but I don't know where they are. I was thinking of making a flower curtain, you know, for the shed window. Very nice chocolate, this, Miguel. I hate to tell you this, but it's very nice chocolate. British chocolate. Well, I don't know whether it is British chocolate anymore, but much nicer than American chocolate. Sorry and all that, but American chocolate. Hi, North Stitch. No, just chocolate. Nothing in it, just chocolate. Just dairy milk. No caramel. Here we go again. You Americans missing the A's out of everything. It's caramel, not caramel. Oh, gosh, I nearly had coffee everywhere then. Nearly knocked a full cup of coffee everywhere. It's like your aluminum. What the hell is aluminum? It's aluminium, if you spell it out phonetically. It's not aluminium at all. Exactly, Mount Carmel. But aluminum. It's aluminium. It's just chocolate. It's not candy, it's just chocolate. Candy to me is toffees or sweeties. Oh yeah, it's caramel, yeah. Yeah, it's like a lot of Americans miss vowels out of words, don't they? They're there, but they just miss the vowels out of it when they're pronouncing it. I don't know why. That's one thing about sort of the British English language. We may have different accents, but we all sort of speak the same language. Whereas in America, there's distinct differences in words from wherever they come from. Oh, Ian, that sounds lovely. My diabetes is out of control, says me, who's just eaten a chocolate bar. So I'm trying not to eat any what I call afters, puddings, sweets, whatever. Glacier, yeah. Some people call it glacier, don't they? I've always called it glacier, but I don't know. Up here in a lot of places, they miss the T out of everything. Instead of saying job centre, they say job centre, or they say Peter instead of Peter. That's typically like a Salford or a Liverpudlian thing, I think that. I know that's my trouble. That's my chocolate treat for the week. My diabetes is well out of control, but hey ho. I'm trying. But unlike some channels, I don't go on and on and on about it, and I don't blame the doctor for giving me the wrong medication, like some people do. No, it's my own fault. I do the wrong thing, so I'm not blaming anybody else but myself. End of story. When I watch some people's videos and I see them, and I'm going, so mad. Yeah, schedule, you mean? Yeah, they say schedule, don't they? Schedule, whatever, yeah. You don't pronounce your R. No, over here, in certain areas, they don't pronounce the T. If it's anything to do with peanuts, Sandra, keep it to yourself. I remember somebody gave me a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I bit into a chocolate bar here. They brought some chocolate bars back from the supermarket, and eating peanuts. No, I don't beg for money for my medications either. Yeah. I don't like people who beg anyway. People are always whinging and whining and carrying on. We all know them, don't we? There's quite a few out there that are always begging and hinting. Oh, I'd love a so-and-so, but I don't have any money. If you don't have any money, you don't buy it. You don't beg. You don't say you want it. And, oh, isn't it lovely? Somebody sent me one. No, it's not lovely. You've just begged for it. You've just demeaned yourself by begging. I would rather go without. If I can't afford it, I'll go without it. I'm not going to beg anybody for it. What, aluminium? Well, how do you get aluminum from that? It's aluminium, if you look it up in the dictionary. There's another I in it, aluminium. After the N, there's an I. Yeah? That's how it's in the dictionary anyway. Yeah, and labour and colour. Neighbour. You miss all the U's out of it. You know. I mean, their harbour, there's an R missing for us. It would be Harbour, harbour. Yeah. I mean, labour, Labor. No, it's Labour. It annoys me because when I'm typing things on the computer, it keeps correcting me to an American spelling. And I'm like, no, I spell it my way here. Oh, a Cornish accent, yeah. Hi there, my lovely. We have a U in neighbour. It's after the O. It's like we have a U in labour. Yeah, we have a U in colour. But it annoys me why the computer has to keep correcting me to an Americanism when I am British and I spell British. And I'm not going to change my way of spelling just to conform because we're not all Americans. We've all got our identities. And to me, I would be losing my British identity if I started spelling things the American way. Yeah, we have a Z in some things, yeah. Colour. Yeah, we have colour. That's the way we spell it. We don't spell it OR. To me, that's collar. Collua. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to lose my Britishness. We don't all want to be American, so I don't see why all our gizmos and our gadgets want to correct us. Every time we say a word, it wants to correct us to spell it American. It's like they're trying to wipe my identity away. I'm not saying you should change the way you spell. I'm just saying I'm not changing the way I spell because that's my heritage. Yeah, Canadians are more British than we are, than American. The Canadians, they spell things the same way that we do. And they also, a lot of them crochet the same way that I do. I've set it to UK English on my computer and it still wants to correct me to American English, and it really bugs me. It's like, no, it's not neighbor. It's neighbor. It's not colour. It's colour. Yeah. I don't know why things got changed. We must have all had the same language at one time. So I don't understand why things get changed about, yeah. Why things get altered, yeah. Yeah, you spell it aluminum. Well, it's aluminium. Yeah, tabs autocorrect and it annoys me. It annoys me when it autocorrects things. Every time I typed COVID on my computer, it changed it to vivid. And I'm like, no, it's not vivid, it's COVID. Some bloke called Webster. Ah, he thought there were too many unnecessary letters, did he? Yeah. But I don't know. It just tickles me when they go, oh, it's aluminum. And I go, no, it's not aluminum. I'll have to add to dictionary because it really annoys me when they keep telling me I'm spelling things wrong. I'm not brilliant at spelling, but I was when I was at school. We used to do the spelling when I was at school. And I had it all off pat. Yeah, it was all. Linoleum. I would say linoleum. And it's tomatoes, not tomatoes. It's tomatoes. And it's potatoes, not potato. Don't get me started on oregano. It's oregano. Yeah, you just say lino. Or vinyl. Vinyl flooring. It's not lino anymore, is it? What do they call it now? Flooring. Yeah, basil. Yeah. Yeah, it's basil. Where's basil come from? It's basil. Yeah. I know I had a friend and I thought he was called Bernard and he goes, no, I'm Bernard. And I'm like, huh? Bernard? What do you mean Bernard? Yeah, and why is it math? Why is it not maths? Yeah, we're talking about differences in pronunciation and spelling between the UK and the US. Yeah, why do you say math? as if it's like one word. Why math? It's not math, it's maths with a S on the end of it. You're not good at math, you're good at maths. Yeah. Yeah, they don't say herbs, they say herb. I don't herb. Herb, E-R-B, herb. What, Rihanna? Why, how do they say? Yeah, we were just talking about Enid before, Jill. Have you heard from her? The crafty enthusiast. Apparently she's deleted her channel on YouTube. So we don't know where she's gone. Miguel says she used to keep walking. I said perhaps she's forgot to come back. She's carried on walking. Not heard from her for months. I don't know whether you have, Jill. Yeah, Rihanna. Well, what do they say? Rihanna. How do they pronounce it, Nathan? I pronounce it Rihanna because that's the Welsh way of spelling it. It's Welsh, isn't it, Rihanna? There's a couple of... No, nobody has. Just wondered where she disappeared to. Oh, Rhiannon. No, it's Rihanna, isn't it? Rhiannon is Welsh as well, but Rihanna is Welsh as well. Depends on where you come from. The Irish names are the best, aren't they? You know, when you look at the way some of the Irish names are spelt and how they're pronounced, totally different. Rihanna. Or Rihanna. Yeah, Siobhan, yeah. People can't spell Siobhan. And there's another one, another Irish actress, what's she called? She's married to... Oh, Lord above. The Cusack family, they've all got sort of really Irish names, haven't they? The Cusacks. All of his daughters. It's like Aoife, isn't it? Aoife. Sinead, yeah. And Neve, isn't it? That. Well, you think it's Neam, it's Neve, isn't it? Yeah, our Shan pronounces it Shan because it's Welsh. She's Welsh. Saoirse. That's Saoirse, isn't it? I think, if John's on here. I think it's Saoirse. Yeah, Sinead, yeah. Yeah, one of our boys I used to work with at the job centre, he called his little girl Neve, yeah. And people didn't know how to spell it. I'm sure it's Saoirse. I'm sure John will correct me if it's not right. Yeah, our Sean doesn't like to be called Sean. It's Sean, yeah. Yeah, Fanula. Did I say it right, John Sorsha? Yeah. The only reason I know is because I've got an Irish friend, and her she was called Caroline for some reason or another, and yet all of her sisters had got really Irish names. So I said, well, how come you finished up with Caroline? And she goes, I don't know, because the rest of the family's all got like Sinead and Siobhan and stuff like that. And she's called Caroline. I said, they must have run out of names when they got to you. Because that's definitely not an Irish name, is it? Oh, we say Morris, yeah. And yet Americans say Maurice, don't they? Yeah, it's like Bernard. It's Bernard, isn't it, in some places? Like it's Bernard in the Caribbean as well. Yeah, it must be difficult to be a teacher. You know, some of the made up names. Oh, some of the modern names, where did they get them from? I knew a West Indian guy who was called Glenn. And when I asked him what his brother was called, he said his brother was called Glenn. So I said, well, how can your mum have got two boys both called Glenn? And he said, well, he's Glendale and I'm Glenroy. And yet they're both called Glenn. How confusing is that in the family? You have two sons and they're both called Glenn. Yeah, Saoirse, yeah. Yeah, Marion, yeah. Marion was a boy's name. Marianne, with an A in it, is a girl's name, yeah. Craig. Well, Craig's a boy's name, isn't it? Rafe. Yeah, he's Rafe Fiennes, isn't he? He's not Ralph, he's Rafe. Yeah. Owen is spelled. Yeah, well, there's Owain is Owain is Welsh. That's Owain. It's still pronounced Owen. It's Owain. And some of the Scottish names, that's really, if you go back in time with the Scottish names, they're, they're a bit more sort of easy to spell, like Morag and things like that, yeah. The way Americans say Craig. Yeah, I had an auntie who was called Auntie Mariah, and yet when West Side Story came out, everybody started calling her Maria. And she's like, no, I'm not Maria, I'm Mariah. I've always been Mariah. Yeah. And a lot of the people, like my auntie's generation, had two names linked together. Like one of my aunties was Mary Alice. Yeah, well, my auntie was Mariah, but she didn't have the H on the end. Not like Mariah Carey. She was just Mariah with an A. But when West Side Story came out, everybody called her Maria. We used to call her Auntie Mary, just for very easy. She was always my Auntie Mary, yeah. But I had an Auntie Mary Alice. We used to call her Mary Alice, yeah. And there's a lot of names that used to be merged together. They always used to link them together, didn't they? Sarah Jane was another one. It was always... There was another one that was like... What about St. John? It's Stgohn, St. John. But it's not, it's pronounced St. John. That's a good old surname in England. Or it's even... Yeah. Gertrude Alice. Until Pauline did my family tree, I never knew that my paternal grandmother wasn't called Janet. She was called Mary Janet. But she was always called Janet, yeah. And my mum's mum was just called Elizabeth. No other name, yeah. I went to school with a girl called Gertrude. And everybody used to make fun of her because like it was a really old-fashioned name. So she used to sort of call herself Trudy. Mm. Yeah, you have all the Mary Jane, Mary Ellen, Mary Beth, yeah. I know they spell Gillian over here with a G. And loads of people used to say Gillian instead of Gillian. I mean, when I was at school with a Gillian, but it was spelled with a G and not a J, yeah. The little baby across the road from me, she's what now? She'd be 2. She's called Constance. She's called Connie. And her brother's called Ivan. They're 2 kind of old-fashioned names, aren't they, really? For little babies, yeah. Yeah, we also have Ginny as well, which is spelled with a G. Ginny. That's an old name. I used to have an auntie called Ginny Wigan. Auntie Ginny Wigan. She lived in Wigan, that's why. I never knew her last name. I think she was called Star, Ginny Star, which was all my Auntie Ginny Wigan. Yeah, Jelana. Is it Jelana or Jelana? My aunts were all called very sort of... There was Ethel, Lena, Eva. They all had short names. I think it's probably because there were 16 of them. Edna. Um, I knew somebody once called Umberto. I think he was Italian. Umberto. Yeah, there's a lady does a YouTube video, and she's called Esmeralda, isn't she? Can't think of her name on YouTube now. She does crocheting videos, but her name's Esmeralda. God Rocks, that's the one. She's Esmeralda, yeah. The dog was called Toby. Well, we've got in the family, we've got a Theodore Jude, but he's called Teddy. Yeah. Oh, bye, Bonnie. Bye. Yeah. But he's Teddy. Yeah, oh, I think my grandma must have been short on names with having 16 of them. Because they were all called names like Jack, Harry, Alan. You know, they all had very short, Roy. They all had very... Tobias, Zephania, Wilfred Dave. Where do you get Zephania from? Or Zephania? Wilfred Dave. I have an Uncle Fred, but he wasn't a Wilfred. He wasn't a Frederick. He was just Fred. It's like Jack, my Uncle Jack. He wasn't John or anything like that. He was just Jack. She just called him all short names. It's like Prince Harry. He's actually Prince Henry. But my uncle was called and christened Harry. He wasn't christened Henry. He was christened Harry. My dad was saying when he was little, like the abbreviation for his name, which was John, was Jack. So if anybody used to come to the front door and ask for Jack, his mum used to say, sorry, you've got the wrong house. There's nobody called Jack lives here. She wouldn't have it. No. Yeah. I watch a video like on Advanced Style where there's all these ladies who mostly live in New York, but they're a bit eccentric in the way they dress and everything. And one of those is called Zipporah. Yeah. Oh gosh, there was a lot of people called Marigold, Lily, Rose, weren't there, and all that. And you look at some of them and they're quite ugly, and you're thinking, why did they call a baby Rose? Daisy was another one, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's like Petula Clark. Where did they get Petula from? Well, I used to read a book when I was little called Ballet Shoes by Noel Stratford. And the little girls in there were called Petrova, Posy, and I can't think what the third one was called now. His sister was called Fred. Well, apparently when I was born, and I was called Janet Elizabeth, my brother complained bitterly because he only had one name. So my dad convinced him he was called Colin Aloysius. He said, yeah, you've got a second name, you called Aloysius. And he believed him for ages. Yeah, Miss Esme, yeah. God Rocks, yeah. Petula got a name from downtown. I don't know what her real name was, whether she was Petula Clark, because she used to be a... Yeah. Do you know Aloysius was actually Gigi's kennel name? Yeah. Yeah, Gigi, his real kennel name was Aloysius. Yeah. We had a teacher at school that used to do that. You girl, you boy. You never got your name. I mean, now they wouldn't allow it, would they, at school? I miss little Gigi, yeah. Sally Alwyn Clark. She must be getting on a bit now, Petula Clark, because she was a child star donkeys years ago. She's older than me. She must be in her 80s. Well, it depends whether you have an icy coffee or whether you're having a hot coffee. Because if it's still freezing outside and still cold, then I think you should have a hot coffee. That was Sandy Shaw. Sandy Shaw sang Barefoot. Yeah, it's a bit cold for an iced coffee, Miguel. You'll never warm up. You need a hot toddy on weather like this. Oh, there you are. Chris has got an idea for you. Yeah, Sandy Shaw. Yeah, I used to like Irish coffees. When you got them, from a restaurant, they used to float the cream on the top. Yeah. My ex could actually do that without making too much of a mess. He could actually pour the coffee on the top. But the trick is you've got to have sugar in your coffee, otherwise the cream won't float, yeah. My son's name, if he was a girl, was going to be Joanna. But it was J-O hyphen large A double N-A. I was going to call him if he'd have been her. Yeah, you have to pour it over the back of the spoon, but unless you've got sugar in your coffee, the cream won't float. Yeah. These people who say, I don't want sugar in my coffee. Well, you're tough bunnies. You can't have an Irish coffee then because it won't float. A waiter told me that. It's got to have sugar in before the cream will float. I used to love them. We used to go out. We always used to have before the days of breathalyzers, of course, yeah. We used to always have an Irish coffee. KD Lang, she does. Yeah, KD Lang, yeah, she does. Sings Barefoot a lot. Oh God, the Bernie Inns, yeah. Original kind of steakhouses, weren't they? The Bernie Inns, yeah. We used to go out a lot, even though we didn't have a lot of money, because you could go out on a Sunday. And if you went out at a certain time on a Sunday, the meals used to be sort of virtually half price, but you had to go in before a certain hour, because once it got past about 6 o'clock in the evening, everything doubled up to its normal price. So we used to treat ourselves once a month. We used to always go to like a Bernie Inns and a steakhouse or something. But then everything went expensive and they stopped doing the specials like to get you in and that. And everybody started to have more money and more people were going out and that. I stopped like going out for meals and that when people used to take the screaming bloody kids in. I'm not a kid hater, but why do you let your kids run around all over the place and smash into the waiters when they're carrying trays full of hot food? And if you say anything, you know, they go mad, these mothers. No, you don't like kids and all that. I love a carvery. Oh, I really do. Where they carve the meat out for you, then you get to choose all the vegetables, yeah. Noisy kids, it's not the noisy kids, Ian, it's the ones who run around going zzz all around the air. You know, all around everywhere, crashing into all the waiters. And I think it's so, why don't the parents tell them to stop it? It's dangerous. They'd be the first one to sue if they had boiling coffee tipped all over them. Oh, my kids have been burned. Yeah, well, keep your kid under control, yeah. Can I see you? No, can I else? Okay. I've gone chilly all of a sudden. Oh, patchouli clout, yeah. Oh. There we go. Got me. I don't know why I've got all shivery. I haven't turned the heating down, but I've got all shivery. Oh. I don't mind normal child noise if they're talking, and I just don't like when they run around you. Yeah, let them stick it. Yeah, but I mean, the parents get so defensive if anybody says anything or if you tut. You know, you're not supposed to criticise their little darlings. You're not supposed to point out that they could get scolded and burned, or they could bash into the waiter and knock all everybody's dinners all over the floor. But you're not supposed to say that. Because if you say that, oh, you were the wrong one. Their little darlings don't do anything wrong. Yeah, right. I tell you what I hate. I don't often go on an aeroplane, but when I do, when you get a kid behind you kicking the seat. Boom, boom, boom. And you're like, don't do that. Please don't do that. And then they're back out, they're going kick, kick, kick. So you spend all the journey on your plane going, which is a bit awkward if you're trying to have a drink of anything. And they're kicking the bloody seat. Yeah, that's terrible, Sandra. You know, that is really bad manners. You know, why? Yeah. Kids who, yeah, the parents scream at the kids but never follow through. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, you can't say a word to them if you say anything. Oh, my God. You get tirade. Yeah. Well, when we went out at Christmas, um, my youngest niece's kiddies were obviously getting a bit bored in between the meals and stuff like that. So either the mum, the dad, or my other niece used to just take them outside for a little while. Let's go and have a little run around outside for a bit, you know. So they run a bit of steam off because they were little and they were bored. They were waiting for their dinner. And it was taking ages between the courses because, of course, it was Christmas and it was all full. But like, instead of letting them be naughty and scream and carry on, you know, let's go for a little walk outside, you know. So every time in between a course, out they went, you know, just run around the car park for a bit, you know. You just don't inflict your kids on other people, do you? I mean, they were well behaved when they were sitting eating, and it's just that you could see they were getting agitated, you know, in between waiting. They can't sit still. They want their dinner, don't they? They want it there and then. They don't want to sit still for half an hour and wait while it comes from the kitchen, yeah? They've no patience like that. So, but lots of parents don't even think about that. They don't even think, I'll just take my little one outside for a bit. We used to do it with our Ian when he was little. No, everybody's like so entitled today. You're not supposed to criticize anything or anybody. Like all these snowflakes that criticize you because you say the wrong word. You don't say the wrong word meaning it in a nasty way. It could be a word that people of my generation have used for years and it just slips out. We don't mean it to be demeaning. We don't mean it, anything. And, you're like, no, you can't say that word. I think, well, what? I mean, there's been a thing on Facebook where some people have been actually like banned off Facebook for saying a word that they didn't know was anything demeaning or whatever. And somebody else got a reprimand from something they'd said 8 years ago. 8 years ago. And it wasn't really PC back 8 years ago. You could say a lot of words that you can't say now. Obviously, I'm not going to say the words because I don't want to be banned off YouTube. But yeah, you can't say that anymore, Sandra. It's chest feeding, you're right. So if it's chest feeding, can the men do that as well then? Don't think so. Yeah, I know it's one of my pet peeves. Like, you go to a cinema and it's not cheap these days to go to see a cinema. Well, it isn't in the UK. It's probably the same in the US. It's expensive to go into the cinema, and you get behind somebody who's talking all the way through it, or their phone's going beepity beep beep. They're doing text messages, and then they're rustling papers, eating sweets. And you're like, you've just paid a fortune for a ticket. If you're going to do all that, why don't you just go home and watch a DVD? It's no, it was as well. I won't say we didn't go out. My son he wasn't a bad. I'm going to sound as though I'm right. What's he called out? But he wasn't bad. He used to sit in one of those little high chairs, and we used to take him a toy and something else or other, And he wasn't bad because he came out with us for meals from being very tiny. Well, when I say meals, my dad used to pay. My dad used to take us out, maybe once a month or something like that, take us out for a meal. And we used to take the little one with us. I mean, from being 6 months old, he went in restaurants and that. But I mean, he wasn't allowed to run around, no way. I mean, when he was about 3, he used to make the waiters laugh because he'd get the menu and he'd be reckoning to read it, sometimes it'd be upside down or sideways. And he always knew what he wanted. He wanted steak and he wanted French fries, he used to say. But he used to pretend he was reading the menu. And the waiters used to always say, what would Sir like, And he used to go, I think I'll have the steak. No, I was very, very lucky with my son. Very lucky he wasn't naughty. Oh, I'm not saying he wasn't naughty. He was naughty. But he did know how to behave in public, which is completely different from being naughty. Oh, he was a little so-and-so at home, yeah. He could be as naughty as heck. But I always used to say I don't mind how naughty he is at home as long as he's not naughty in someone else's home or when we're out in public. Then he had to behave. He could be naughty at home, yeah, he could. All kids are naughty at home. You know, you can't have it. Nobody's perfect. But he did know how to behave when he went out, yeah. I actually gave somebody else's child a smack once in a big superstore. My son was running round a pillar, you know, those big pillar things that come down that support the building. He was running round a pillar and he knocked into a lady with a basket, and he knocked the basket into her leg, and I really told him off. And I said, "You really hurt that lady's leg. That is so naughty. Don't do it again." And then out the corner of my eye, I saw this little go round the pillar. So I just said, "I've told you about that before," so I smacked him. And then I looked again and it wasn't my kid. My kid was stood next to me on this side. It was somebody else's. And this woman said, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Shady deserved it. Don't worry about it." Which was the difference in generation, whereas now it'd be, "Don't you touch my child. You've molested my child." But back in the day, you know, if somebody did give you a little, I mean, it was accidental. I didn't mean to give it a good smack. In fact, I didn't. I just give it a tap and told it off. But, you know, there's me smacking somebody else's kid. But I mean, I looked after a friend's little boy, and she says, "Oh, we can't go in the supermarket. He's so naughty. We can't go in." And I went, "Yes, we can." She goes, "But he's naughty. He pulls things off the shelf." I said, "No, we're going in." So we went in and he started, and I said, "Don't do that." So then he went and started again. I went, "Right." I picked him up. I said, "Mummy, do your shopping." I said, "We will be in the car." So put him in the car. He's screaming, he's kicking, he's carrying on. And I just sat there and put the radio on, and I said, "Have you finished? Have you done?" I said, "You're not going in." I said, "If you can't behave, you're not going in." And this happened a couple of times, you know. And then the third time, I just looked at him and I said, "Are you going to behave, or are you going to sit in the car?" And he went, "I'm going to behave, Auntie John." And I went, "Right, okay then." And you know, from that day on, he was great. He was absolutely great. It's because he knew that I meant it. I didn't smack him. I didn't chastise him. I just took him out of the situation, bunged him in the car. I said, "You can scream all you want, don't bother me." So once he found out he couldn't get his own way, he just stopped. And she's like, "Oh my God, how did you do that?" I struggled with him for 3 years, you know, like being naughty in a shop. And I went, "No, you don't let him rule you." I said, "He's only 3, you know. He needs to be told that you mean it. It's no good saying, 'Oh, don't be a naughty boy, don't be a naughty boy.'" I said, "No, no." And I said to her, "Just tell him he can have one thing when we go in the supermarket." I used to say to him, "What would you like to choose? Would you like to choose a comic? Would you like to choose a drink? Would you like to choose a chocolate bar? Because you can only have one of those 3 things." Yeah. Right. So then he would choose one thing, and then he'd be happy. Then he'd go all the way around the store without mithering, you know, "Can I have, can I have, can I have?" Every time we went past something, yeah. And I mean, it was the same when he got older. He used to say, "Can I go look at the toys?" I used to say, "You can go and look at the toys, but you've already chosen a comic. You know, you can look at the toys all you want, but you've got your comic. That's what you chose." Again, he would behave, yeah. Yeah, exactly. You've got to put your foot down. I mean, there was a little boy in the supermarket just before I left, and he was having a right tantrum, and he was throwing himself on the floor. And his dad was just stood like that with his arms folded, and he said, "You can scream all you want." He said, "You're not having it." And this boy's yelling, banging his head, doing everything. He said, "I told you." He said, "Do you want to go home to your mummy right now?" He said, "Because that's where you're going." And I walked past, I went, "Well done, well done." Hi, Melly. I thought, that is a good dad. He just didn't give in to him. He just said, "If you're going to carry on screaming, I'm going to take you back home again and I'll do the shopping on my own, yeah? And I thought, good on you, Daddy. You're going in a few minutes, are you, Joy? All right. Hello, and goodbye. Have you got it? Yeah. Oh, dear. That's funny, Sandra. I used to say that to my friends. I said, it's no good threatening to do something if you don't do it. Yeah. I mean, my mum played pop with me. My son's first smack, he was about 9 months old. It wasn't a hard smack, it was just a tap on the hand. But he was wanting to feed himself at this stage, and he had his spoon and everything, and he was eating, but he thought it was quite funny to put his hand in the mashed potato and throw it at the wallpaper. So I said, no, that's naughty, we don't do that. Naughty. So then he would look at me, and he had that little look in his eye, and he would deliberately go and get some more mashed potato, throw it at the wall. So he got his hand tapped. He cried because it was the first time he'd ever had his hand tapped. And my mum said, oh, he didn't smack a baby. I said, no, he understood. I said, funnily enough, he didn't throw any more mash at the wallpaper after he had a little smack. You know, it's but everybody's so scared now of child abuse if you give your kid a little tap. I mean, there's a difference, isn't there, between giving your child a little slap on the hand to tell it it's naughty and beating the daylights out of it, yeah? You know, these people say, oh, you can reason with a child. No, you can't reason with a child. A child doesn't understand reasoning. Not when it's little, it doesn't understand it. I had this conversation with a child psychologist once, and she said, no, a child's got to know the end stops. It's got to know no at one end and yes at the other. And in between, there's the leeway for negotiation. But if you don't give it a yes and you don't give it a no, it doesn't know boundaries. It will never learn a boundary because it doesn't know what your boundaries are. And this is what you've got to do, is you've got to set your boundaries and stick to them. And then that child is not confused. He said they're not born with a reason. They're not born with reasoning. You know, don't do that, sweetheart. It's naughty, isn't it? Don't do that. Yeah. You know, there's a difference in between beating your child up, which I don't believe in, obviously, or chastising it. And people are too terrified today of being reported to child services just for chastising your child and telling it it's naughty and it's wrong. And once you've given a child a little slap, a little smack, all you have to say to it after that is, you are looking for a smack. And you know I mean it. And yeah, they don't do it because they know you will. It's no good throwing, like you said, throwing a threat out and not following it through. You've got, you give them a warning, you give them 2 warnings, and then 3rd warning, end, yeah. But so people are so scared, aren't they? You don't negotiate with a 2-year-old. You don't, darling, come here, let me sit and tell you what you're doing is wrong. No, doesn't work. You can stick it on the naughty step as many times as you blooming well want. And it'll enjoy itself, yeah. I used to send Harry into bed and he used to love it. I used to get a book off the shelf and sit there reading, because he could read from a very early age. Oh, good night, Ian. Good night. You're in your PJs under the blankets. Yeah, I should be going as well because it's midnight gone and everybody's in bed asleep except me. I've got a date with me book because no doubt I won't sleep, so I shall read a book for a while. Yep, so I'm going to go. I'm not in the least bit tired, but I know I should try to get some sleep because I had hardly any last night. My alarm went off. I don't know why I set an alarm. But my alarm went off and I'm thinking, somebody'd answer the door because we've got a melodious doorbell, that plays a little tune. And I'm thinking, somebody'd answer that door. It's really annoying me. It was my alarm. Yeah, I'm reading a story. It's not that thrilling actually, but I'm reading it. And what annoyed me last night was my iPad came disconnected from the internet while I was in the middle. And so I couldn't even watch YouTube. Yeah. That's funny, Sandra. You're in the mad chair. Right, are you going to bed as well, Nathan? I'm going to bed too, yeah. I won't sleep, but I'm going to try. As my mum used to say, if you're resting, it's better than sitting upright. At least if you're resting your body, even if you don't sleep. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and rest my body. Take my hair out my clip because I can't sleep with a big clip in the back of my head. Take the last of my washing out of the dryer. I'll put it all away tomorrow. It's all in my bedroom, but I'll put it away tomorrow. Yeah. So, right, anybody? I hope we've all had a good evening. We've covered a lot of subjects here, haven't we? From ice and snow and chastising children to old-fashioned names. We've covered it all tonight, haven't we? So, my nose is itching, so I'm going to go and get myself another drink, not coffee, and go to bed. So I shall see you all next week. I'm actually hoping to do myself a little bit of a video because my niece has been saying to me, will you do a before video before you start doing all your work? Yeah. So I might do a before. It'll have to be an after video for the windows outside and the garage door because that's already been done. Yeah. Right, thank you, Chris, and thank you, everybody. What we got, Denise, Melly, Marie, Sandra, Chris, Nathan, Miguel, whoever else is here. Good night, all, and I shall see you all next week. Oh, we always solve the world's problems at least. Yeah. At least we've had no trolls tonight. Good one. That's a hint, by the way, if you get the hint. Bye all.